Well, this week we're going to be talking about Jesus once again, following the story. But this time, we're going to be talking about miracles yet again, inevitably. But this time, I'm going to be basically talking about faith. Faith and how we can apply it to today. Faith in how we can see miracles. Faith in seeing miracles. Faith in that we can do miracles. And faith about praying for miracles. Now I'll explain this in a little bit. Now I became a Christian probably about 4 years ago. And that process was heavily helped by Young Life, by camp, by the love of the leaders, by the support, the guidance. Just an exciting time at camp. In fact, I went on 3 camps over my time coming to Young Life. And on my first Young Life camp, at the end of the week, we went up on this big hill, this big old hill, and at the top of the hill there was a big cross that overlooked the ocean. And it was a night time, and we, all our group, there was about 60 of us, went up on this big hill. Now this was in Devon, not Scotland. It was in Devon at the time. And we all got time just to sit, think about our weeks. And we were asked that we were just given this time just to say a prayer or two. Now this is the first time I would have prayed consciously, I suppose, to something up there. So I was sitting up there praying, and what I was thinking was, what can I pray about? And the thing is, at the age of, I guess I was 15, 16, I wasn't very confident, a bit anxious, paranoid, I guess feeling quite lonely at times. And my way of communicating with people, in some ways still is magic. So at the time I was like, I'd love to just perform. I'd love to perform more. I'd like the opportunity to perform. So what I prayed for was the opportunity to perform more. I said, can I pray? And can I perform? So I did. Then that was that. Then we got up and walked down the hill. I won't do it in real time because it'll take like 10 minutes. But I got down to the bottom of the hill. This was on camp still. Went into the canteen. Came out of the canteen. Walking around. And one of the service crew just came up to me and said, "Oh, do you do magic?" "Yes." "Can you show me something?" That was quick. And it was at that point that sort of pricked up my ears. I was thinking, crikey, I only prayed this about 10 minutes ago. There's something in this. There's something worth considering. And then the next camp, the year after, we did this thing at one of the clubs during camp where someone stood on this side of the room, someone stood on this side of the room, and they both had arguments for different things about miracles. So I'm going to quickly reenact that now. So, just to symbolise a different person. Miracles. What are miracles? Well, miracles are coincidences. They're just chance, probability, mathematical things in which happen in life, and we think they're good. Miracles, when we see them, they're just, when we say it's just time, we see them, etc., etc. It's all good, and happen all the time. Right. Different person. So miracles. Miracles are a gift. They're given by something more powerful than us. Miracles have meaning. There's meaning in miracles. Every stage of your life as you've gone through it has pointed to where you are now. Everything happens for a reason. And when miracles happen, they're there for a purpose. They're given to us as a gift from something else, from someone else. So there was a strong argument for miracles and a strong argument that miracles are just chance, coincidence over here. Now the next thing we were asked to do was just to, we don't have to do it, but we're just to stand up, and then there was about 60 of us in the room. Now about 58 or so of us went over to the I Believe in Miracles, or at least I'm considering that miracles exist. And 2 of the 60 went over to the miracles are just scientific, they're just coincidental things in time. Now, you don't have to answer or come up or anything like that, but if you know right now whereabouts you would be, whether you believe in miracles or you think they're coincidence, doesn't matter which one, if you know what that decision is right now, could you just raise your hand what one is? Interesting, thank you. Well, I was one of the 2 people over here on the coincidence side. I thought, there's such a strong case over here. Like, yeah, scientific logic behind it, isn't there? There's things just happen in life, and we think something's amazing at a certain time, etc., etc. Later that day, cabin time. Those who've been at camp will know what cabin time is. It's a time at the end of the day where you get to sit down with your group, your area, and you get to recap the day. Talk about basically what you've done that day, what the best part of it, what the food was like, what you enjoyed the most. And you get to read a little bit of the Bible and just talk about it and discuss it. So I was there on this camp, in cabin time, and my leader asked me, or asked all of us, so do you believe in miracles? It got to me. And my answer was, I don't want to be ignorant, I guess, but to believe in miracles, I have to see miracles. Or I've seen a miracle. I'm not one to believe in something that I haven't experienced or seen myself. It's all very well, people talking about miracles happening, experience miracles, great things have happened, but unless it's happened to yourself, or myself, it's very difficult to, I guess, imagine it. And that's true, really. So I'm going to read this passage out of the Bible here. This is Matthew 17, and it's called Jesus Heals a Demon-Possessed Boy. Now, what is a demon-possessed boy when it's at home? A demon-possessed boy in this day and age would have been someone with an evil spirit in them, possessed. This evil spirit would cause them to harm themselves, be unconscious, be ill, be sick, almost like being dead while being alive. It's a horrible, horrible state to be in. So here it is. When they came to the crowd, a man approached Jesus and knelt before him. "Lord, have mercy on my son," he said. "He has seizures and is suffering greatly. He often falls into the fire or often falls into the water. I brought him to your disciples," basically Jesus' close friends, those who followed him closely, watched his every move, learnt from him. "But they could not heal him." Now why this is interesting is because a few pages before that, in the Bible, it says Jesus called his 12 disciples, his friends, very close friends, together and gave them the authority, gave them the power to cast out all spirits, to cure spirits, to get rid of spirits, and to heal any kind of disease or illness. So now they can't heal this one boy. Why is that? "You unbelieving and perverse generation," it's just misbehaving, not listening generation. Jesus replied, "How long shall I stay with you? How long shall I put up with you? Bring the boy to me." Jesus rebuked the demon, he got rid of the demon, cured the boy, and was healed, and he was healed at that moment. Then the disciples came to Jesus in private and asked, "Why can we heal the boy? You gave us the power." Jesus said, "You have little faith. Truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you." So, may I have a volunteer just to help me with this, basically. May I have a volunteer who's willing? This rock, I use from time to time for demonstrations. Now this is like lead, this. It looks small, but it's got such a density to it. It usually takes like 2 or 3 people to move it usually. Now, do you have faith to move this rock?
Yes.
May I give you this mustard seed?
Yes.
That will change it.
Thank you.
It's so small.
It's very small.
Can you move this for me? Pick it up actually. Yeah, don't use the trolley, you can pick this up. Go on, Ed.
Just pick it
Yeah,
up.
pick it up.
You're excited.
This is very heavy.
Yes.
Just realise just put it back down this platform so I can move it later. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks for helping. So these disciples, these friends, they couldn't heal this boy, even though they had been given the power from Jesus himself, from God himself, to heal this boy. But it's not as though they had no faith. It's just that they didn't have enough faith for this problem. So they turned to God. They turned to Jesus and asked him, "Can you heal this son of this man?" And he did. Now we can relate that to our age now. Jesus, praying. As Christians, there's always obstacles in our lives that we can't solve ourselves. They're just too big. So we call upon God to come down and help us. And we do this through prayer, we do this through different ways, just by asking. Having faith in God as a Christian is very much like, it's a relationship. You have a relationship with God, and I started off with no faith back in the day. I had no faith in the beginning when I was up on that hill, but I thought I'd pray anyway. And I was shown this amazing miracle straight away. It's an amazing miracle. But as in any relationships, whether it's with your parents, whether it's with a brother and sister, whether it's boyfriend or girlfriend, whether it's whoever it may be, you have to have faith in the other person. It has to be an element of faith. Otherwise, is it a relationship? I have faith in you, I have faith in you. So having faith in God is great, but it's the relationship that you build with God that you gain a faith, I suppose. So basically, after my prayer and asking for a miracle, when I was like sitting in that cabin time thinking, oh, I don't believe in miracles, I need to see one. Soon after, in my current state I was in, I was sort of depressed, down, a bit lonely, not very confident. The perfect thing for the time was, well, basically what happened was I was wandering, wanting a miracle, and this person came into my life, a very special person who I could confide in, I could talk to, I could tell them everything I wanted to tell them. They helped me grow my confidence. And to me that was a miracle, because it just came out of nowhere. There was such little chance for that to happen, but it did. And that's what really started my faith. Seeing a miracle and seeing the results of that. So is there anything in your life, that any obstacles, anything you can think of that you might want to change? Anything that you might want to improve? Anything you might just want advice for? What I urge you to do, invite you to do, is just, if you get time, whether it be at home, on the bus, or even with a young life leader, we're here to help. Just ask God a question. Or if, like me, you want to see a miracle, ask God to see a miracle. It may not be exactly what you expect, like a volcano erupting in Hoddesdon, or £1 million coming through your door. But whatever it is, it's usually best for you as an individual, and it will be shown to you in a way that suits you best. So what I would just say is, if you do choose to do that, if you choose to ask God something, today, tomorrow, next year, I must warn you It's quite amazing what happens.